Well, hi folks, it's getting to be about that time of year where it's time to start fertilising the beds and the soil outside, so just thought I'd try and explain a certain few things about, you know, different types of fertiliser that we use. Now this is probably the one that most people will be using. It's growmore, and it's a pelleted fertiliser which you just mix into your soil. And then another one that a lot of people use is blood, fish and bone, which is organic really, because it's no chemicals in it. It's just like it says on the tin, blood, fish and bone. So I actually prefer to use this because it seems to be longer lasting than the granular stuff. And then you've got another sort of fertiliser, which is, get the hands in there because it stinks, which are chicken poo pellets. They're out of, you know, from the waste from the chicken industry. So they're your basic three sort of general purpose fertilisers that most people will be using. And if you look on the back of any fertiliser, it's got it'll have a thing saying NPK and certain amounts of percentages. Now that's quite important because everything does a different sort of job in the garden. So the N stands for nitrogen, the P stands for phosphates, and the K stands for potash. Now there's an easy way to remember what each thing means. So it's NPK, it's shoots, roots and fruits. So basically the N is the nitrogen, which is what provides the green growth. The P, which is the phosphate, strengthens the roots up, makes the plant grow stronger roots, root establishment. And the K, which is the potash, is ideal for ripening fruits off and for tomatoes and fruit bushes and things like that. So if you look at certain things, like growmore is usually 777, so it's balanced fertiliser, the same amount of each chemical in. So basically it's good stuff for all sorts of things. Same with the blood, fish and bone. That's a balanced fertiliser. That's, let's have a look, that's 555, so it's slightly weaker but the same balance. But there's one thing, which is the chicken pellets, which are actually 5, 3 and 2. So there's 5% nitrogen to 3 to 2, so they're twice as much nitrogen, obviously because they've come out of hen poo, and it's ammonia. So they'll be better for things like cabbages and things, you know, and lettuce that need any green leafy sort of veg. And then you've got all sorts of other fertilisers, like you've got the granulated slow release fertiliser. They come in different sort of breakdowns. This one's a balanced one at 13, 13, 13. So, and these last for, this says it lasts for 6 months. So, and then you've got your general liquid feed. That's what you use for tomatoes and things like that, because that's high in potash. That's the K, the potash, which is good for fruits and ripening things off. And it'll be lower in nitrogen because you don't actually want the plant to produce any more green foliage when the fruits are ripening, you see. And then you've got things like bone meal, which is rich in the phosphates, which produces strong root growth. And then you've got another sort of base chemical fertiliser, which is sulphate of ammonia, which is just basically pure nitrogen. There's nothing else in it, and that's good for giving green veg, you know, a quick boost, like lettuces and cabbages and things like that. And then you've got your general purpose sort of water soluble powder, which is stuff that you use it quite weekly, and you just use it on a regular basis throughout the season. That just gives your plant a quick boost every now and again. So basically they're the sort of the general purpose fertilisers. So I mean, you really need just one of the basic ones. I prefer, I must admit, blood, fish and bone, because apart from it being organic, which doesn't really bother me that much, but it's an added bonus because there's no chemicals in it, but it just seems to last longer than the granulated stuff, which tends to doesn't seem to stay in the soil for more than about 6 to 8 weeks, and you've just got to keep sort of topping it up, you see. But with the blood, fish and bone, just one application of about 3 to 4 ounces every square yard, just worked into the soil. It seems to last all season because it is quite a slow release fertiliser. So anyway, that's just a quick guide of the different types of fertiliser you can use and the different ones I use, and hopefully a bit of an explanation as to what NPK means. Nitrogen for green stuff, P is your phosphates to promote your root growth. And K is the potash, which is what you use for fruiting things like fruit bushes and tomatoes. So that's the fertilizers.